What went wrong, if you can explain what the sort of hydro scenario is?
Yeah, so in attack we have to, amongst other things, we have to grind enough hydraulic pressure into the system so that we can drive the camber in the wing. So the wing cambers up, and so during the tack, basically that camber has to be transferred through to the other side. If the guys are a little bit late, or the hydro doesn't get triggered at the right time, the wing sort of goes through but hasn't changed tack effectively. It wants to suck the boat over, and because the hydro was late, it was basically sucked the boat right over on its side, and it was about as close as you could be, I think, to tipping all the way over.
Has that happened before? I mean, we've never seen you go anything like that close. And what's the solution?
It's all timing and resource, and we sort of rushed that tack. We sort of were in a pretty close situation with Oracle, and we just pushed to try and tack a little bit too quick. We weren't fully set up, and I think just our timing was out.
Lesson learned from that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we'll just we'll keep learning. We haven't had the close racing through the Louis Vuitton that we're having right now, and so being able to defend the close boat races like we had today, is obviously very important. And in that particular situation, it's frustrating because not only it was very close to quite a bad situation, but it also cost us the race.
Shook the nation. How did you manage to sort of get back on the bike? What did you say to the boys for race 2?
I think everyone just acknowledged straight away that it was just. It's one of those things, we have to be on our game, we have to do everything 100% right, and we bounced straight back. And I think, even though the race was called off, it was a good confidence boost for the team to be around the bottom gate in the lead again, and in a strong position.
What did you say to them?
Well, it's just, I think it's just, get rid of the history and get on with the next one.
Now, how frustrating then, when you were in the lead and showing some wheels up wind again, to have that race called off?
Frustrating, because it would have been nice to have had another point on the board to show for it today. But I think we come out of the day with confidence. Well, I'm sure they're very happy to get a point on the board. It's it's been reasonably lean for them up until now, and they're going to they need to start winning races. So we obviously want to not allow them to get any momentum, and so tomorrow is a big day for us.
In regards to your structural problems after your collapse, did you feel you had a problem, or you felt the boat was in good order to sail on to the next regatta, as you did?
Yeah, there was no structural issues with the boat at all, no.
You stressed the wing through it.
But were you thinking more to save yourself rather than...
Yeah, but it was pretty unloaded. It's just, the wing was back to front, basically, and
Dean, can you just help us understand, I understand it's hydraulics, but was it a slowness in switching over the hydraulics, or did you just not build up enough pressure in the hydraulics?
It was just the timing, just because you normally need a bit of time for the guys to get to leeward, to get set up and things, and we rushed the tack, so our timing was out, and we just didn't get the resource when it needed to be.
And what saved you? Was it the guys just kept continuing to grind? Or
effectively, the guys are still grinding hard.
And built up the pressure?
You got the oil moving, and that was just enough, just saved it pretty much at the last minute.
Somebody told me it was 38.2 and 38.9 is the tipping point. Does that sound about right?
I have no idea. We don't tend to sail at those angles.
I'm done. That's cool.
Could we say
Right.
Thanks, Dave.
Well done, matey.
Forced the error? Could you put that down to a system error or an operator error?
No, it's just timing, amongst the guys. There was no, we.
So who's calling that tag right?
No, it's just the whole timing that we have to work on. You're going to, in those close situations, when you've got to make a split-second decision, we need to make sure we can still do what we need to do without putting the boat in a difficult position.
What point did you realise you didn't have the pressure?
The hull just kept lifting up and up and up, and at that point it's a pretty nasty feeling.
So did you do anything on the camber of the wing to reverse it out or generate lift or not?
Well, I'm trying to turn the boat back, onto the other tack, because that's about the only thing you can try and do. But obviously the boat's pretty much stalled at that point, and you can only just hope that the camber finally goes through.
How close did you get to Oracle?
We weren't too interested in where they were at that point, so I'm not sure.
What about in the starts? I mean, you've won 2 out of 2 today. What's happening there?
We're just, we're focused on trying to make sure we lead around Mark 1 so we can control our destiny, and we led around both of those today, which was very promising. We've just got to continue to improve that aspect.
Are you noticing any difference on Oracle with Sept off and Ainsley on?
No, they're obviously equally, very, very talented sailors, and they've probably got their own slightly own different styles, but they're going to be just fine with either.
How much of a factor was the ebb tide out there today? It's the first time we've seen it.
Well, the ebb changes things a bit. It makes it a lot choppier. I think we just got to, adjust a little bit, just the way we tack and things. We probably didn't do that as well as we could have, but it's just sort of makes it a little lumpier out there.
Is Oracle seen on the beach to be playing the full width of the track? Was that harder for you to defend or not?
Oh, not really. No, it's we sort of obviously had the options of what we wanted to do, and we sort of played the race courses we sort of thought it would play out, but they just made a couple of little gains which sort of got things a bit closer than we would have liked, and at that point it sort of was hard to defend.
How do you feel about the wind limits that are operating here and the fact they reduced them a bit tight?
Well, we bought into the review committee and what Ian put out there, and so I think it's very it's very much set in stone, and we respect them.
I think yesterday or the day before, Jimmy Spittle said that everyone seemed quite happy with the 28 knots rather than the 23. Is that your view or not?
Well, we were happy with more, but it was just a decision that was made at the time, and we respect that.
Dean, how scary was it being way up there? What was going through your mind?
It wasn't that scary for me because I was on the leeward side, so scary in the fact that the thing nearly went over, but in terms of where I was on the boat, it wasn't such a bad feeling.
So what was going through your mind when it was all happening?
Well, it's amazing actually how it all sort of turned into a blur pretty quickly, but the big thing was just trying as hard as we could to get the thing back on the other tack, so that even though it was sort of fully heeled over, it was if we could get back on the other tack, there was a chance to try and save it.
And when you see the replay, you'll be amazed at what your hands were doing. Did you have time to think, boy, we're in deep here, or were you just working so hard with your hands to keep the boat upright?
Well, once it was sort of clear that the camber hadn't gone through, tried pretty hard to get the thing to tack back onto port, because that's about the only way we could save it. And at that point, the thing's pretty stalled, and it was just really in the hand of the god at that point.
You've never had this experience before in an AC-72, have you?
Oh,
so this was learning on the job, big time today.
Yeah, well, we knew exactly what would happen if the camber didn't go through, and we've been racing the boat hard, and this is the first time that we've had a situation quite like that.
So is it sort of a coordination problem more than anything amongst everyone?
Yeah, it's just the timing. When you're in that close boat race like we were, it was sort of a marginal cross, which changed very quickly into a leave-out tack. We needed to probably work a little bit more on just that communication.
Suggestions back home in the whole country may have tilted as well. It's kind of like your ad campaign there. Everyone got out of their seat at home, I think, and tried to right that boat.
It definitely felt like there was a bit of help there, so I'm thankful for that.
But it is a reality check, isn't it? I mean, all this chest beating apart, only 3 more wins, but boy, we're mindful of the nosedive, and anything can happen. It was close today.
Oh, that's right. These boats, it's not over until it's over. We have to win 3 more races, and we'll go out tomorrow to try and get some more points on the board. And that's very
It was a soft sail, but a wing can actually help you in that situation. We got to a very hairy moment, but we managed to just save it.
How cool were the grinders to keep going?
Yeah, very cool. Glenn was good in that situation. Basically, all the guys were where they did keep a cool head. If people had started jumping overboard, we would have capsized.
How scary was it?
Look, it would have been scary if you're on the starboard hull. I was on the leeward hull, so you just keep doing your job to the bitter end, and to be honest, it was this is really close, and for anyone on the port hull, it was no safety issue, just a multi-million-dollar disaster had we capsized, but the guys kept their heads and saved it.
Now, Dalton's not on the boat today. I mean, presumably he's going to make a meal of this as well. What did he say when he came back on?
Yeah, look, he played it pretty cool when he got back on. He knew that we were really upset with how that race panned out, and he knows that's not the time to get upset. We've got to get into the next race, and the team regrouped really well, and we had a great start. We were leading comfortably when that second race got called off. But we'll go through the whole race afterwards when we get back after this interview, and we'll really analyse what exactly happened, what was the communication, where was everyone, how was the boat going in that race, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But the real encouraging thing is we did bounce back straight away on the water. It didn't rattle us.
How did you do that? I mean, this was a moment away from total catastrophe.
Yeah, you just got to switch off, and think of no history. You can't be too fazed by those things. It is yachting that happens. It's just on a big scale and an expensive scale. So, it's yachting.
I haven't seen it yet. How are you going to view it?
Reviewing the whole race, you mean?
Well, I mean, you haven't seen how close it got yet. I mean, are you going to be able to watch it?
No, we'll go back. We'll review all the TV footage and the onboard cameras. We can get raw footage of all of the cameras on board, and we get the audio of what was happening. So we got eyes everywhere on the boat. So we'll just go through that and have a good study of what was going on.
Might be a few bleeps on the audio.
Yeah, most probably. But yeah, like you say, I think everyone kept their cool pretty well, and definitely a lot of relief when we saved it.
Was any consideration given to playing that postponement card and going back for a cup of tea and a lie down?
No, we didn't consider a cup of tea and a lie down after that. No, we knew there was nothing wrong with the boat, and it was just a timing issue on board. Very easy thing to resolve, and we didn't once consider pulling the card on that. The guys rebounded really well on board.
Which was worse, the nosedive or today?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Very good question. Probably both pretty similar in a sense. Like, today was closer to catastrophe, but physically the nosedive was pretty spectacular too. So I think we're winning the prize for keeping people entertained.
I think we've had opportunities in both our losses to win, and I think if you can take any positive out of that, is that it is there for us to win now. So we have to make sure when we have that opportunity to get the points on the board that we do.
So what would have happened in this capsize? It was not a pitch boat, so it was maybe Ray said a soft capsize. Would it be that serious like a pitch boat, or was it just lying on the side and then you could recover it maybe even if you would have capsized?
Yeah, a lot would still depend on how you get the boat up, which is sort of the one thing that no one's really managed at this stage. The Oracle guys couldn't get their one back up. We certainly have a plan of how we would do it if it did go over.
With motorboats and getting there on the line. Yeah.
But there's sort of no guarantee that it would come up and still be in one piece. So it's a little bit of an unknown, and we obviously have to manage that very carefully.
So what you felt about Glenn sitting on the other side, pretty far away? I mean, he was on the right end.
Yeah, he was up on the hull.
And he would have fallen pretty far down.
Well, those guys would have had to lower themselves down, so they've got carabines and things to get themselves down.